What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. It's the MMA Mustache, and today we're going to be talking about Silva because I do not like this guy. I don't like him. I think he needs to be humbled. I think he thinks he's some sort of superstar. His ego is very inflated. I think he thinks he's going to walk past Arnold Allen with ease. I am someone taking Arnold Allen. I believe he's going to be able to beat him. I'm not saying Silva is not a good fighter. He's not a fun, entertaining fighter to watch, but this guy is still very new in the UFC, and he acts like he runs the place. So we're going to break down his MMA junkie interview. We're going to react to some of it and have a little bit of a laugh together because this guy is cringe central. So let me head over there now. Before I watch the interview, I want you guys to see the numbers on these interviews here. We have Arnold Allen, who's kind of a quiet, conserved guy, sort of seen as a very good fighter, but some people would say he lacks personality. 32,000 views on his interview. Now, Silva, who you'll see in a minute, and not just this interview, if you go watch his other interviews, this guy thinks he's the big deal. He thinks his personality is massive and everybody loves him. 7.5K views. So, Arnold Allen's pulling in 5 times his views. But let's watch it. Let's see what Silva has to say.
I used to say, if I hear...
Of course, we get an ad. What a great way to start here. Surely I can skip this. We're going to skip this ad. We have to start right at the start here because from the get-go, this guy's on some very, very weird energy. Let me full screen this.
He said, "You're filming me. Todo mundo tá te filmando."
First things first, he's confused that they're filming him. He needs to point out, you're at a fucking media interview. This is what they do. You've been, I know you're kind of new, but you've been through these before, Silva. Yes, you're going to be filmed at a media day.
Não dá pra fazer muita coisa. Puta que pariu, sou... Pô, bonito pra caramba.
He said, he looks really good. He said, I look really good. There you go.
Tá rindo o que aí, sacana? Não acha bonito, não?
What are you laughing at? Don't you think I'm pretty?
Little bit zesty there. You don't think I'm pretty? Little bit strange from Silva, but I get he's trying to show he has some personality, and you can say it's a joke. I look pretty, I look good, but you also look like Brazilian Jason Statham, bro. Like, let's not go too far with it.
Most pretty.
So I had to include this part here.
O mais bonito.
Bye. Jean right here.
And then we start getting into some of the questions. The first part of it's kind of standard questions you would normally get, but I want to take us to about 456.
There's former champions. He's always exciting. What do you make of Arnold?
Como é que você vê o Arnold como oponente? Porque as únicas pessoas que ele perdeu.
What do you make of Arnold? And he's shouting out the mustache, so maybe I was the one asking him questions. I can't imagine there'd be a better mustache than this in the UFC journalism, group of people.
Foram ex-campeões, número 1 do ranking para disputar título, então assim, os oponentes sempre foram muito fortes. O que você pensa dele como adversário?
Ele perdeu para caras muito fortes, campeões, caras bons, e agora ele vai perder para o próximo campeão.
Well, he's lost to a...
So the question was, what do you think of Arnold Allen, basically, as a fighter? And the way the guy propped it up, I don't know if I included it in this, was, hey, Arnold Allen's only ever lost to the best of the best. He's been in the UFC for a long time in the featherweight division, beating some really good people. What are your thoughts on that? And let me be fair and go back right to the start of it.
He's lost to a lot of people. As you said, former champions, number 1 title.
He's lost to a lot of people. He has 2 losses in the UFC. One's against one of the best featherweights of all time in Max Holloway, and the other one's against undefeated Movsar Evloev, who's rightfully, arguably the rightful number 1 contender in the division.
Contenders, and he's going to lose to the next champion.
So to the next champion. Dude, how do you, and this guy's delusional in saying this because he later on goes on in other interviews to think that Diego Lopez is going to beat Volkanovski and it's going to be him versus Lopez for the next championship fight. So it's like, how are you the next champion if the guy that beat you is fighting for the belt and you think he's going to win? Wouldn't he be the next champion? And this idea that beating Arnold Allen gets Silva a title shot when he's coming off a loss is ridiculous. If it is Diego Lopez with the belt, there's no way this guy's next. Lerone Murphy, undefeated on a hot streak. Movsar Evloev, you don't think one of these guys might get it before you do on a 1-fight win streak, Silva?
Given it seems like the UFC likes you and likes your style and likes your personality, is a big win over Arnold. Do you think by the end of the year you'll be fighting for a UFC title then?
Ou seja, sabendo que ele só lutou contra cara brabo que você acha que realmente uma vitória contra ele.
Pelo cinturão. Sou eu mesmo, meu jeito, minha personalidade. Cara, quem mais late dentro do octógono, eu acho que fala por si só.
No, it's not going to be him and a win against him over him that is going.
It's not going to be a win against him that gets me a title shot. So when I first heard this, I'm thinking, yeah, the guy understands he needs another win after this at least. But just listen.
Going to actually propel me to a championship and a title shot. It's the way I conduct business, the way I have this personality. Like, listen, who else barks in the octagon? All right, that speaks for itself.
It's not going to be the fact that I beat Arnold Allen that gets me the title shot. It's the fact that I bark in the middle of the octagon. It's the way that I conduct business. Sure, entertaining fights might jump you up the ladder, but right now there is a queue of featherweight contenders. And the fact that this guy thinks he's next in line just for beating Arnold Allen, or not even for beating Arnold Allen, he doesn't think that's what'll get him. I think if he does go and starch Arnold Allen in the first round, there is a world where Volk's champ and we maybe get Volk versus John Silva, but that would be beating Arnold Allen. That's the big token. That's the reason you got it. Not because you bark in the middle of the octagon. No one cares about that, dude. Right, people kind of got behind it a wee bit before you got humbled by Diego Lopez. Thank you, Diego Lopez, for doing that. But, we all saw the press conference. I'm not going to break it down on this. No one's really barking anymore, dude. We see right through you, you crybaby. Which leads me to the next part.
Peraí. Vocês estão tão acostumados comigo chorando que vocês deixaram esse silêncio aqui pra mim, só pra mim.
Are you so used to the fact that I'm always crying that you already left out is that for me?
And that's kind of funny, right? Like he's making a joke about the fact that he always cries. But the funny thing is, yeah, that is why they left him there. You cry over literally everything. The UFC PR team and production had to be like, ooh, it's Sean Silva, guys. He might find a way to cry here. Maybe someone will say something that upsets him. They'll ask him about the Diego Lopez fight and he'll cry. So you can joke about it all you want, dude. But honestly, in watching this, I was surprised you didn't cry. You are the biggest crybaby of the UFC, my friend. You cry over losses, you cry over wins, you cry over questions. We will get to this at the end of this video, but this guy cries over seeing a UFC belt before it's even crowned around his waist, before he's even in a title fight. John Silva, they had to give you tissues because, yeah, they did think you were going to cry at this media day scrum.
You thought?
I think that's just a coincidence, but that's quite funny.
É uma coincidência, mas é uma coincidência engraçada.
Vocês são sacana, hein?
Y'all funny.
Sean, if you do get to that title shot this year, who would you rather be the winner next weekend? Do you want a rematch with Diego or do you want the chance to fight Volk?
E quando se fala em uma chance de cinturão contra o Volk?
Eu acho que quanto mais... Tenho certeza que vocês, fãs, telespectadores, principalmente agora da CBS, vão preferir eu contra o Diego.
The more promotion we can get at this, the more it sells, the better. So I'm pretty sure that all of you out there, fans, viewers, and everyone on CBS would love to have me against Diego.
What? We saw you versus Diego maybe 4 months ago, 5 months ago, and he whipped your ass. He TKO'd you in the second round. In the first round, sure, Gene Silva had some moments in that where he was tagging him, but the first round was him on top of you, destroying you, laying in massive ground and pound. The UFC, do you know how much of a superstar Alexander Volkanovski is? Probably the greatest featherweight champion of all time. And even the fans and the community of MMA, when we found out Lopez was rematching Volk, everyone threw their hands up in the air and said, what the hell? This isn't the fight we wanted. This isn't the fight we needed. And yet this guy thinks if Lopez gets past Volk, they're instantly going to book the rematch of him versus Lopez. Like it was a 5-round war that everyone's wondering, oh, we need to book that as soon as we can. That guy needs a rematch. He lost his belt after defending for 4 times. That's not how it works, dude. If Diego Lopez beats Volk and Volk wants to stick around, I could see a world where they do Volk versus Sean Silva. But these are all hypotheticals because I am telling you guys, I think Arnold Allen might just humble him. I am praying that it's cats versus dog. It's Arnold Allen's cat versus Gene Silva's barking in the middle of the ring. Because he's like, This guy acts like a dog so much. I was worried Israel Adesanya was going to show up at the press conference. If you know, you know. But the rest of this interview kind of just takes place with Jean Silva talking about legacy, talking about, fighting, his skills. He thinks his footwork's going to play in. The rest of it's not too bad. We're going to finish at we're going to go to the end of this here because it's more cringe. You know what I mean? It's more Gene Silva trying to play into this. He says it's the real him, but it almost seems like a character. So he basically tries to get the entire media room to do barking with him, which is kind of gay, but that's his gimmick that he's leaning into. But listen to this. No one else does it with him.
Peraí. Traduz eu, Fabiano. Fabiano, fala que eu vou contar até 3, todo mundo tem que latir aí, hein? Ok. 1, 2, 3. Huff. Cadê, pô?
Instant reaction of like, well, what's going on? Why aren't you doing it? Oh, one person over there did it. You're my favorite. I don't speak fluent fucking Portuguese, but that is what that sounded like to me. Huh? Why am I doing this alone? Am I a loser with no one else behind me? Oh, you're all right. Thanks for barking with me. 3, 2, like this guy thinks he's a superstar, man. How many fights has he had? The Drew Dober fight, the Charles Jourdain fight, the Bryce Mitchell fight, the Lopez fight he lost. It's still early days for you, bro. Like there's people that get belts and lose belts that wouldn't be doing shit like this and thinking they have their catchphrase to yell to the fans. And this isn't even a press conference. This is just the media guys. He thinks they're asking him questions because they all love him. They have to ask everyone questions, dude. You're not their favorite fighter. Come on now, Jean Silva. Fun, entertaining fighter. But, on this card, Paddy's a bigger star than you. Gaethje's a bigger star than you. Sean O'Malley's a bigger star than you. Hell, Rose Namajunas is probably a bigger star than you. This is a stacked card. Derek Lewis is bigger star than you. And if you don't believe me, go and have a look at the views. Because those names I just mentioned got more views than this guy. Jean Silva is delusional. He thinks he's a superstar. He thinks he deserves a title shot. Instead, he's going to get met with some humble pie at UFC 324. But before I end this, I feel like we need to show you guys the clip of him seeing the belt for the first time. So here it is here. I'm going to play this, and it speaks for itself. I really don't need to talk about it too much. So Jean Silva's gets shot. And I don't know who this is, but this guy gets a fucking jump scare of his life. Is this not cringe, man? This would be cringe if this was the belt you're fighting for. You're in a non-title fight this weekend, dude. You're up here screaming and crying in the backstages of a UFC arena or wherever these fights are being held to cry into a belt? Is this even the featherweight belt? I don't even think it is, dude. It's not even the one they're going to wrap around your waist. Either you're cringe and you are a crybaby, and that's why they put those tissues at the desk while you were speaking, or you just do all of this for attention, man. You're just putting this on just to get a reaction. And even the reaction is just, I hate Gene Silva. I'm happy to say that. I hate Gene Silva, or Jean Silva. I'm sorry. I can't help but watch that and cringe. It's like he lost it. It's just like his long-lost baby he's finally found. Or the belt he wants to get back so badly. He's reminiscing on the times of when I was champ. You've never even been in a title fight, dude. You had one 5-round fight in the UFC and you got KO'd in the second round. You've never even been to title rounds. Over here crying over someone else's belt. I cannot believe this. Gene Silva. One day I'm gonna have you. Something along that. One day I'm gonna get this belt. You escaped me. It's cringe. It's embarrassing. I'm sick of Jean Silva. Arnold Allen is going to come out and he's going to humble him because that's what we need. Diego Lopez humbled this guy and he didn't quite get the message. He still thinks he's the biggest superstar in the world. He is living in his own head. He thinks the UFC revolves around him. It does not. Arnold Allen is someone humble, and although he's been inactive, I believe he's going to go in there He might get hurt in the first round, but I think he's going to outpoint John Silva. I think he's going to expose him as nothing more than a crybaby, cringe fighting nerd. And I can't wait for it. So please tune in. UFC 324, Arnold Allen opening the main card against John Silva. And John Silva is going to be served up a platter of humble pie. Thank you for watching.